Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren. And welcome to Okay, but did you know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 3, Episode 11, Nude Beach, and Episode 12, Broadcast Wagstaff School News. We always start off with a synopsis, and for Episode 11, Nude Beach, we have Hugo is inspecting Bob's Burgers again. He insists Bob attend a hand washing seminar and mentions he is inspecting food vendors at the new Nude Beach in town. Hugo turns nudist after his visit and takes a leave of absence to relax and be nude. The kids find a cliff over the nude beach and offer views to their fellow classmates with the help of their new friend, Daryl. The new health inspector helps Bob out, but then uses Bob's to play his inappropriate rock music. The music drives Bob's customers away, forcing Bob to try and rid of the new health inspector. Tommy doesn't take it very well and starts threatening Bob, then shutting down Bob's burgers. Bob swallows his pride and goes to the nude beach to convince Hugo to come back, only to end up competing in the nude cathlon. The kids rake in the cash during the games. As usual, the length of the synopsis does not mean
Is not indicative. It is not indicative of. I would say, as per usual, usually the length of the synopsis is indicative of our enjoyment, and occasionally such little happens it feels weird to leave anything out.
yeah, that's about how I felt with this. Even though a lot happened,
Yeah,
but
but yeah, it just brings back to mind, why are there eggs?
yeah, this is our Bob's Burgers egg episode. But we always start off with our puns from the opening scene. What did you get for the vacant storefront?
Scroto-rooter vasectomy clinic, half off next visit.
I'm so happy you had to say it, and not me.
Thanks. No.
I've had to say some interesting things when it comes to Bob's
Yeah,
Burgers, so
it's
it's
true.
okay. But yeah, that's supposed to be a play on Roto Rooter. I don't know what Roto Rooter is. I didn't look it up. I just
I think they're a plumber. I
plumber.
think.
Okay, I didn't look it up because honestly, I just want to move on because that is a interesting
Yeah.
place to open.
Yeah, it's a plumbing company, which, to be fair, for a vasectomy clinic, is quite a clever pun.
It is a very clever pun, but oh my. And for the pest control truck,
Hit the rodent, Jack.
play on the Ray Charles song "Hit the Road, Jack."
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
All right, so it does have a rat on the van too that's getting hit with a
Mm,
mallet and it's got
yeah.
stars. So it's trying to
Mm.
be funny.
Yeah, the start. It reminded me of what was it? It's Roger Rabbit. Is that movie the entire time? Like
Yes.
he's supposed to see stars. Like what is this? Tweeting birds.
And how many burgers of the day?
I caught 3 burgers.
Ooh, you're right.
Yay. So I got the Don't Go Broking My Heart burger with broccoli and artichoke hearts, which sounds disgusting.
Oh yeah, and that's of course "Don't Go Breaking My Heart."
Couldn't if I tried. I just like adding on now my commentary of whether it sounds good or not. I don't know why I've decided to start doing this. The Eggers Can't Be Cheesers burger with fried egg and cheese sounds delicious, and I think we talked about last time like a brunch burger being like a preferred burger, which was nice timing on our part.
Yeah, that was my preferred burger. Because now instead of brioche, I need to try it with some challah.
Yes, I highly agree. I highly recommend. Fun fact though, in college, my like the grill at like the student union, they would technically only serve breakfast sandwiches until 11. However,
Mm-hmm.
bacon and a fried egg was always an option for a topping on burgers or sandwiches. So I would literally just get a grilled cheese and add on bacon and a fried egg if it was like 12:30,
Oh, there you
and
go.
still get my breakfast. Still get a breakfast sandwich. It's just not on like a biscuit. It's on bread.
Sounds good though.
It was good either way, and it costs the same. And our final burger is the Freedom of the Choice burger. Comes with bok choy.
And that's a play on freedom of choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some fun facts about this one.
Uh-huh.
We have Aziz Ansari
Mm-hmm.
returns as Daryl.
Yep.
Fred Armisen as Thomas.
I caught that.
You caught that? Good. So even though it's titled Nude Beach, did you notice that the sign actually says
Mm-hmm.
clothing optional beach?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's not gonna be a ton of interesting things about this one. I'm
Mhm.
just waiting to get yelled at and hear your amazing notes, honestly. Um, of course, when Tina decides to tell Hugo that, people originally served food naked was the whole, biblical reference of Adam and Eve.
Mhm.
But that should be a given.
Yeah.
Um, so Hugo does his own montage song in this one, "You're the Best" by Joe Esposito, which
Mhm.
is best known from The Karate Kid
Yeah.
from 1984. I don't think this one was on the same par of Megan Mullally's own montage that she did.
No.
No. And then Andre Royo is the first and currently only guest star to voice themselves in an
Hmm.
episode.
Okay.
And now you may yell at me.
Now I may yell at you. I just kept texting Katie as I was watching it. There's just so much Hugo. It's just I don't think I wrote down anything about Gretchen. I just was like, oh, okay, we're really doing this. Like, oh, and then I saw Hugo. I'm like, it's just so much Hugo. So much Hugo.
So much.
Oh, I did write down is Hugo singing. Okay, so I did catch that was him singing. That was that's the main note is just it's so much Hugo. Um, the peeping Tom situation with the kids, definitely illegal.
Definitely
Like for
illegal.
a multitude of reasons. The clothing optional beach being 18 plus is very much what one would see.
And they told the parents. And the parents, they did. They were completely honest with their parents. And their parents were like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd be like, please don't sell views of naked adults to your friends. Please don't do that.
Yeah. That is just not okay. I did write down though. I don't remember. I'm guessing. I think it was Gene that said this. Maybe it was Zeke. I don't know. Is that a third nipple? Who knows? You can't write this crap. Don't.
I wrote down that 32 steps seems extensive. For the hand washing seminar, it was 32 steps.
Well, because also it was you should be washing your hands for as long as it takes you to count to 1,000, and I don't think that's anyone's recommendation.
No, I would not. Nope. I would be washing my hands forever.
No, that's like 2 happy birthdays is usually
Yeah.
like at a regular pace. I was saying I think on Grey's Anatomy a few like the different characters all had their own like things that they sang to themselves as they scrubbed in, and I know scrubbing in for surgery is a lot longer process than it
Mm-hmm.
is just washing your hands in a restaurant, but still like I think 1,000 might be excessive.
Yeah, 1,000 is definitely excessive. I did write down too that I don't have much interest of going to a nude beach.
No.
Possibly in New Jersey.
No, nude beachers are never the people you want to see at a clothing optional beach.
Yeah, I don't think that's on my list to want to
No, it's not.
run and do. I did write in
Nope.
I wrote in all caps, not the fanny pack.
Not the fanny fact that he had to lift his stomach so that one could find it. Like, no. This, again, as I've been saying the entire time, so much Hugo. Just, it's really a good thing that we watched this episode the same week as the Stable Boy. I had a sandwich, shall we say, because it's an episode with commentary. So I watched my main viewing of the Once Upon a Time episode. I watched Bob's, and then I made myself feel better with my commentary viewing of the Stable Boy.
They're not all going to be, the best episodes. This was at least one that
No.
it's not depressing or overly annoying. You're just sitting there like, why? Just why?
Yeah. Well, like this one, I mean, we'll get to the score later. This one does better than I think you're probably thinking it did. It does awful for personal points, but like for overall, it does not have a terrible score.
I wrote down one favorite line.
Mm-hmm.
Naked and defeated, just the way he entered this world.
I wrote down. I appreciated this line. No one can make you feel like a turd without your permission. Eleanor Roosevelt. I'll give it to you, kid. That he was close. He was very close.
He was very close. What are your other thoughts other than it being so much Hugo? What are your other thoughts on this episode?
Yeah.
Nope.
Mother-daughter nudity day is not how that works. That's not how that works. Why was Tina hacking at the bushes with a wiffle ball bat?
Did you know that Gene had one of Bob's spatulas?
I did not.
When he was hacking? Yeah, so you've got Tina with the wiffle ball bat. Gene has one of the spatulas from the restaurant.
Yeah, that's not helping either. That might be helping a little bit more than the wiffle ball bat.
And Louise knows what to do. Sit back and watch.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm not getting dirty. I'm not doing this.
Mm-mm.
So the new health inspector, Tommy is his name.
Yeah.
A Pistol McSwish's Basketball and Brew sounds like an awful name for a bar.
Agreed.
And him with just him with his guitar, which of course his music being awful was not surprising.
Oh, it was so bad. I can't believe somebody actually wrote
I
that.
know. Um, while their music was better than this, I'm gonna say that now. Um, it gave me such flashbacks to my ex. She was or she is a drummer. And
Okay.
I sat through many shows of her band, and
Mm.
I say sat through. I was usually unpaid hired help, basically. I was I mean, I didn't mind bringing like the stuff in and out. Like that's fine. That speeds up the process. It's when like if I didn't want to run the merch table, then they didn't get to sell merch. Like I am not your employee.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Not really my fault. But it gave me such flashbacks to being in bars when the band is playing and all that. And I was like, that's not a time in my life that I wanted to remember with such vivid detail.
Give you flashbacks.
It gave me some the episodes recently have been giving me flashbacks. That one gave me some flashbacks. The unbearable likeness of Jean gave me a lot of middle school flashbacks that I was like I wasn't
Oh
expecting.
no. That is never a fun time.
No, it is not. The nude cathalon. Just completely shifting
Let's
conversation
shift
away
to the
from
nude
that. Let's
cathalon.
shift to that real quick. Yeah, just the nude cathalon, just beginning, and then I wrote down nude tetherball sounds dangerous.
I don't know why a man would want to play that, or
Or anyone.
yeah, no. Like, that sounds
Um,
painful if it hits the wrong place.
right. Because, like, it's. Those balls go rogue.
And then, like, the three-legged race made me feel weird. I'm like, you're pairing up with people that I hope you're friends with because you're naked
Yeah.
and now tied to that person.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing with clothing optional beaches. My understanding is most people are not fully nude. Usually, my understanding
Mm-hmm.
of them. Not I'm saying this not that I've been to them. This is like videos I've seen on YouTube, like about them, or just stuff people come across the internet because the internet's a weird place. Um, it's like people usually it's less clothing than you would see at a regular beach, but it's not necessarily like
Yeah.
everyone is naked all of the time. Is my understanding
Like,
because like
at
that's just
most, you may see
uncomfortable.
some boobies.
Yeah,
You may see some boobies.
like it's just uncomfortable, and especially with the Greco-Roman wrestling on sand. Like you're definitely getting sand places that sand should never be.
Yeah, when they said the Greco-Roman wrestling, I was like, why would you want to do that?
Like, please put a mat down at least.
Well, for me too, it's the bodies touching.
Well, that too. I mean, they already were doing their whole, ancient Greek like marathon, like not marathon, Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
like analogy with all of this. But it's just like, why? With the sand going in places that sand should never be, it's coarse and it gets everywhere. And yes, I am making a Star Wars reference because I can,
Yeah, as you should.
as I should. In my opinion, Attack of the Clones is the best of the prequels trilogy.
Ooh, I think I've got to agree on that one.
I think so.
I need to have another marathon with that, actually.
Yeah.
Well, there's just so much new Star Wars stuff that I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't keep up. I didn't even finish The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's with Star Wars and Marvel. There's just so much stuff right now that it's
Oh,
quite
so
literally
much.
impossible to keep track of all of it.
Because I think we tried one episode of Secret Invasion and still have not finished.
Mm.
I haven't even started the next season of Loki, and it's like done.
Yeah, me neither.
I
One of my favorite lines about like the expanded Star Wars universe though was from the Big Bang Theory where they were talking about something and Sheldon goes like, "No, I refuse to watch the Clone Wars movie until I've seen the Clone Wars TV show. I prefer for George Lucas to disappoint me in the order in which he intended."
Oh, okay.
That's the way he said. I'm like, that's accurate. When there's so much stuff, that's the way you got to go about it. Is after a while, like you can go chronologically, but like sometimes going in publication order kind of almost makes the most sense.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. It's even with my books. If the prequel comes out after the original, I read the original 1st. Like
Yeah.
I like to do it in the way that it comes out. It just makes more sense. I
Yeah.
also grew up on the original Star Wars trilogy like most of us did, and
Yeah.
remember when the prequels came out. So Like, it's hard to watch those before the original trilogy,
Yeah.
truly.
Well, again, this might be why like Attack of the Clones might be one of my favorites. Is that was like my first like I say grown up movie. Like I think it came out. I was like probably 7 or 8, something like that. And like my dad, it was me, my dad, my brother. We went to the movies when it was dark out. I was
Mhm.
very excited. He's like we went to like a late night, or not a late night, but we went to like a later day viewing, and I was like, I felt very grown up to get to go see a Star Wars movie at night.
See, that was kind of me with like Lord of the Rings, but my dad always took my brother, and so I never
Mm-hmm.
actually got to see like the Lord of the Rings in uh theater, but I got to see them
Mm-hmm.
coming out like as they came out on DVD. Dad bought them, so like mine was more of
Yeah.
like a whole movie thing with like Lord of the Rings. I've never
Mm-hmm.
seen a Star Wars movie in theater. Not a one. I love that we start off with Nude Beach and end up in Star Wars.
We find a way to bring it back to enjoyment and less cringing.
Yeah, because we're not gonna like every episode that we watch. We've had this discussion before. At least with this one,
Yeah.
it wasn't so terrible that we're like, this is completely annoying. I don't like watching it. It's got problematic aspects. This one's just like it's so much Hugo.
This one's just very cringy. I think I
Yeah.
wrote my very last note is I think this is the first time I actively cringed while watching an episode.
Oh, what did you
I'm like,
rate this
what am
one?
I watching? Weirdly enough, it gets a 6 for personal because Hugo, a lot
Yeah.
of that. But it gets 9s for plot and character because
Oh,
I can't deny there was a lot going on here and I was here for it. It was really honestly the only thing keeping this from being a higher scoring episode was Naked Hugo and also maybe Naked Bob. Um because that was also a lot of skin on him. So this gets a 24, which like I said, it's not a terrible score.
wow, higher than me. I gave it sixes
Would you?
across the board.
That's
It's
fair.
an 18 for me. It's just
So, it's just
I'm realizing I do sometimes consider my episodes and how I feel about them if I can watch them with my kids.
mhm.
And I cannot watch this one with my kids.
No, you can't. Is this the first one that you've given below a 20?
Oh, is it? Oh my god. It might be actually. I'm just not the biggest fan.
No, that's understandable.
No, because I gave the unbearable likeness of Jean a 16.
Ah, okay.
That one I definitely don't like that one.
No, I would not watch that one with your children.
All right, so now we have episode 12, Broadcast Wagstaff School News. Tina is auditioning for the school news station. Jean processes one day looking like Bob and embraces it. Tina gets staff intern on the news team, but then starts investigating a mystery at Wagstaff. Someone is pooping all over the school. Tina chases the mad pooper and starts her own newscast as she tries to catch the culprit. Tammy and Wagstaff School News start working against her, and Tina realizes the mad pooper's next hit. She catches Zeke in the act, catching the mad pooper and clearing her name. This was also an episode.
Yeah, it was.
But we always start off with puns. What did you get for the vacant storefront?
That's a doorbell. Doorbells. Please knock.
Oh my gosh, I love the please knock. That's my favorite
Yeah.
part of that.
It gave me like Wizard of Oz vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he switches the sign.
And then what did you get for the pest control truck?
That was shut your mouse.
And how many burgers of the day?
I only got 2.
There are only 2.
Perfect. We have the Grandpa Munster burger, spelled Munster like Munster cheese. 10% senior discount.
Which I found interesting. And this was, of course, for Grandpa Munster from the Munsters.
Yes. Which I
love
did the math.
Munsters.
We love the Munsters. I did the math. The 10% discount still makes it more expensive than a regular burger.
Does it?
Yeah, because if you're taking off, it's $5.95. So if you take off, you're only taking
Mhm.
off 60 cents roughly, and a burger is $5. So it's not that much cheaper.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, it doesn't really matter at that point. And the other burger was a mushroom with a view burger.
So that one has porcini on a double decker.
Mm.
I like mushrooms. I would eat that.
Yeah, I'm not a big mushroom on burger person.
Oh, it's yummy if they're sauteed.
Mm. I like
do that.
I like mushrooms like is like a stir fry element with that. I like I'm a good with like a good like portobello mushroom burger sandwich situation. But
Ooh, I should make stuffed mushrooms soon.
nice.
So this is our first appearance of Mr. Grant, Mrs. Scher, and Mr. Bronca. I think they all return. We definitely see Miss Schnur and Mr. Bronca quite a bit. I think we eventually get more of Mr. Grant. Did you
Hmm.
catch who plays Mr. Grant?
That's Will Forte, isn't it?
It is Will Forte. You got that one?
Okay. I did get that one. I heard his voice. I had to look up his name. I'm like, at first I said Will Arnett. Like, nope, that's not Will Arnett. That's another
Nope.
person. It's
It's
Will.
not Will Arnett.
My face went. I was like, MacGruber from SNL. I know who this is.
MacGruber.
I know who it is. I can't remember his last name.
Okay, so this is our second appearance of Tammy, who is, of course, played by Jenny Slate. We love Jenny Slate.
We do. She really does play the same character in everything.
In everything. So this is her hair is now blonde, if you noticed, but
Yes,
they both
I
her
did.
and Tina actually reference her blonde hair and that it's dyed. So,
Mhm.
which is funny because on the cover, like the cover art for like Bad Tina, when we first meet Tammy, the hair is blonde. It's not brown.
Okay.
So I don't know why they did this, but they did. But yeah, more Tammy,
Yep.
more all the kids.
Yeah, really.
So all the names for the Wagstaff school news team, apart from Tina, Tammy, Zeke, and of course Andy and Ollie, which I don't know how Andy and Ollie got on this news team.
I don't know.
They are all crew members on the show.
Okay.
No last name is ever given for Zeke. It's just Zeke. And Andy and Ollie, their last name is listed as Pesto, but we've both established that it's Papalopovich.
Yeah.
Unless Jimmy has legally changed his name.
He might have, but I mean, he also, if he had the kids after the restaurant, if he wanted to make it seem like his name was Pesto, like, you don't legally need any reason to put a random name on your kid's birth certificate, I don't think.
I'm unsure how that works where I'm from.
I think it depends on the state, but as far as I'm aware, you can put whatever you want on your kids.
Last name,
like,
I don't think you can. Well, from where I'm at, last name,
Mhm.
it usually is the father's last name.
Okay, yeah, because up here, I mean, people, they'll, even if their names aren't hyphenated, they'll hyphenate the names on the kids' birth certificates. But I think, I mean, don't quote me, I'm not,
Yeah,
I don't do legal things up here. I'm just talking. But I think you can honestly put anything you want on your kid's birth certificate for last name. It does not legally have to be yours.
Okay. Well, I know that you can do.
Like, if you want to change it, that's a whole other process. But I think if he wanted to just put Pesto on his kids' birth certificates,
No wonder
have
he's
at it.
divorced. All right. So, did you happen to see the captions on Tina's different reporting videos?
No, I didn't. I don't think so.
Okay. So for the Mad Pooper case, we have the different captions are: school gets new stools. Mad Pooper #1 at number 2s.
Okay.
And the last one's my favorite one. Mad Pooper does a solid.
Yeah. Okay.
During the video of Tammy framing Tina in the library, posters on the wall include "Read a book, it'll last longer."
I mean, not if you read like us.
No. I'm on my 113th book of 2023 right now, so
I finished 67.
that is
by my last count.
amazing.
I'm so happy.
The other one just said "got book," like got milk.
Yeah, I feel like Got Milk. I mean, it's such an iconic thing for our generation, because I feel like younger generations haven't seen that, and obviously older ones before they came out didn't. Like, it's such a very specific 10 years of time.
Well, oat milk exists now, and how do you not have oat milk?
It's so much better.
It's so much better, and it doesn't upset my stomach.
Same.
So the mask Louise wears when she hides in Mr. Fran's desks is, of course, the one that Hannibal Lecter wears in The Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
I love Louise.
Yeah. That was a very Louise thing.
Oh, very Louise thing. She's still one of your favorites. Or no, you said she was going to be the one that grew on you.
Which she kind of got me immediately, because I think what I originally said was she's annoying. She's a lot and annoying, therefore she'll be my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely, I mean, honestly, for the family, I like all of them. I have nothing against the family at this point.
Which I love to hear.
Gene is really the surprising one.
Gene grew on you, and I love it.
He really did.
What did you think of Gene as little Bob?
he was way too good at that. I mean, I know it's his dad. You pick up on things like we're good at that with our family, but like he was way too good at that, down to just calling Linda Lynn the whole time.
And Linda completely feeding into it the whole time too.
Yeah.
And it's poor Bob is just like, Linda, stop. Like, don't egg
Mm.
it. Like, don't get him. Don't have him.
Encourage this.
Don't encourage this. That's the word I was looking for. I loved. Okay, I did like Zeke's news coverage. I don't know what it was, but Zeke as our sports coverage, I really enjoyed. He was funny. Only to
He
end
had
up
good energy.
him being the one pooping everywhere.
I mean, like some of them were accidents.
Some were accidents. Some were for Tina.
Some were for Tina.
I want to know your thoughts. I have some too, but I want to see how much of ours add up.
This is a stupid Simpsons reference from like one of my weirdest favorite episodes, because this is not what they were going with. This is what my brain went to when was it either Gene says he has Linda's birthing hips. I think did he say that about himself?
I think he did.
It reminded me of, there's a Simpsons episode where like they're doing like history things. I don't remember the concept of it, but it was like one of the multiple vignette kind of episodes where they don't really have one cohesive plot, and one of them was Henry VIII. And they had the person with Anne, who was Anne Boleyn. I mean, they're wearing like the giant hoop skirt thing, and she calls herself Anne of the childbearing hips. And Homer as Henry goes, "My son could cartwheel out of there."
As someone who loves Anne Boleyn, that's hilarious to me.
I think it's Margical History Tour is the name of the episode. I think I couldn't tell you what season it's in, but I think that's what it's called.
I'm going to Google that because there's too many seasons of The Simpsons to try and find that.
Yeah. Well, like I always say, like I stopped watching it. I always say, like, I stopped watching around like season like 18, but that was still like 15 years ago, if not longer. No, I was like as soon as I saw the bright green blazer, I'm like, no, it's gonna disappear into the green screen. That was my first thought, and obviously that's what was happening there.
Being a floating head at the end.
Yes, they warn you, don't do that. We always made sure in my various video production classes, if we ended up doing stuff with green screen, like, just don't wear green. Don't risk it. Doesn't matter what shade it is. Just wear literally any other color that day.
Yeah, just don't do it.
So am I correct in that Jocelyn is played by John Roberts as well?
I think so. I'm going to double check that. Because I can't remember off the top of my head, because we see so much Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm looking something up.
We found it. Once per episode.
That's what. Yes, it is John Roberts. Sorry, that took me a minute. It was giving me like, who are her parents? Where did all the episodes she's in, which is a lot. And I'm just like, just tell me who voices her. There was an arrow to get that information.
It's okay. I would have said that their news special. I wrote down, this is a well-crafted news special, when like they did the thing about the Mad Pooper. Said, well, until Louise said she'd edit that part out.
And then did not edit it out.
And she did not edit that part out. But I thought they were very well-crafted news specials, for just kind of having a camera that they pulled out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. I think Tina did a great job.
I think so. I think I love the growth of, she started out as someone with, with stage fright, and now she's, going out for the school news. The school news thing. I did hate the teacher, because like it's not news. Like no teacher would be condoning turning like the news station into like a gossip thing, because the school's very like at least in real life, they're putting real world logic on this. They very again to this cartoon. They very much put a lot of like, administration has a lot of say in what can and cannot go out. So, gutter journalism is one way to describe it.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree with that. What did you think of Tammy like trying to help Tina trash talk?
When was that?
So what they were doing was, you had where Tammy and Tina are going back and forth, because Tina starts her own broadcast, and Tammy's in charge of the other one. They try to pin everything on Tina, so they're going back and forth. And poor Tina doesn't know what she's doing.
Oh, okay.
And Tammy kind of like helped her a little bit, and was like, "That's not how you trash talk. You need to trash talk." And Tina's like, "I'm trying. What do I do?" And Tammy's like, "Be meaner."
I might have been writing things down while that was happening. Like, I mean, why I didn't remember that. But yeah, I mean, that's very on par for the character. It's just like, be mean to me.
Oh yeah. And then my favorite line from all of this was when the Bob and Linda are
Mm-hmm.
there and they're watching the because they show up to the whatever
The
it's
assembly.
called, the assembly. Thank you.
That
God, I'm
was the
old.
epitome of an assembly you see at elementary and middle schools.
Oh yeah, that was definitely what that's
Right down to the
like.
devil
And
sticks.
they walk in and right down to the devil
That's what
sticks.
those things are called.
And then Linda just goes, "I really want a cigarette," and Bob goes, "I really want a juggle." And I'm just like, if this were not is not me and my husband.
I wrote that down.
I loved that moment because I used to smoke. I thankfully quit,
Mm-hmm.
like 4 or
Good.
5 years ago.
Smoking is bad.
Smoking is bad. I did quit, but like there are those times in life when you're just like when you've been a smoker where you're just like, I want a cigarette, and my husband is definitely like Bob who just want to juggle.
Yeah. I did write down, yes, Louise, push Tammy under the poop, because she absolutely was doing that.
Oh, definitely. And I love how they spun it as Louise saved her.
Oh yeah, she saved her, all right.
But how did Zeke get away with this?
That's the other line. Like, let's go Zeke, let's go to Zeke, who is surprisingly not in trouble.
At all. Like
Like,
and you
no.
just what's your reasoning? My family moves around a lot.
Sometimes when you gotta go, but there are better ways of dealing with that. Let's go with
Maybe
this.
not in the child's diorama.
Probably, yeah, not in the diorama, not in a trombone, not trilling it throughout the school.
Maybe not
There's
on top of people running an assembly.
Yeah. You know, there are a lot of options, like literally any toilet.
There's lots of them in a school, I will say.
There are. I did love, my very last note was, Tina got her own show, but honey, please get a new jacket.
Tina with the floating head.
Like, I thought at first, well, because at first you could still see her hands in the last one, so I thought she'd gotten a black jacket. I'm like, nope, that's the same jacket. It's just, you can see her hands now.
It's Tina. I don't know what to say. It's Tina.
Yeah.
What did you rate this?
So, weirdly enough, this one actually got a lower score than Nude Beach, because this one, weirdly enough, I gave it a 7 for plot, an 8 for character, and a 7 for personal. So it gets a 22. So it gets just slightly lower. I think I don't really know. I can't entirely tell you what I was thinking in this moment. Maybe I was so desensitized, but like from Nude Beach, I couldn't enjoy anything anymore. I don't know, because Nude Beach, I really couldn't deny was like, while cringy, was very much Bob's Burgers level chaos, and like I'm like, it very much is. This one, maybe because it was so much of the kids, like not like our main three, but like, 'cause like Zeke is not my favorite. I stand by Andy and Ollie. Andy and Ollie should not have gotten
No.
picked for the for that news report, since they're just saying back to you, all back and forth all the time.
Like, why are they? And then why is Tina the intern if Andy and Ollie are chosen for this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there were other options, but yeah, I can't entirely qualify why this got the score that it did. I think it does fit the vibe of like, this one was chaos, but not quite the chaos that I usually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But no, we have a lot, like they have like their different Bob's episodes. You've got the ones that are very family centered, you got the ones that are very much just the kids, um, ones that are just full on like the actual like full community of Bob, like
mm-hmm,
of that area. Like they have they have a few episodes where it's everybody and it's really fun.
mm-hmm.
This was definitely one that was more so the kids, which is fine. I think I've just seen so many of them. This one isn't like super highly rated for me, only because I see enough poop. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I don't. No, I'm good. So this is sevens across the board, so only slightly higher.
Okay.
The Nude Beach, so it's a 21. I love Louise being the supportive little sister through it.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jean being little Bob.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I'm just like, we're following a poop story.
Yeah.
A child is pooping through a school, and nothing happened.
Yeah. Nothing else happened. There was no punishment. Nothing else. It was just childhood newsroom drama, which can be
And that was
fascinating.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be fascinating if that's something you like watching. But like this one, it was fine. It was fine.
What do we have next? Because if it's what I think it is, I am extremely excited. That's not it. No, we still have one, two, three more weeks.
No, I was saying because it Snakes a Village. That's where I get the map, right?
That should be the one, yes.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we've got. I think you'll like the next two, like the next, like the quite a bit of this next of season 3 is really good. But I need to get to this map so much so that I can have your input.
Yeah, this will be. Well, this won't be. This will be on par with other Bob's ones. Because even with the cutting out, like I feel like we've had like a 34 episode one before,
Hi,
so this won't be our shortest episode.
right?
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 119, The Return. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen, so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. And follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.